The KV-6, or KV-6 Behemoth, is one of the most famous fake tanks on the internet. A super heavy tank armed to ludicrous proportions, with 3 prototypes claimed to have been built between 1941 and 1942, serving against the Germans near Moscow and Leningrad. This was not a hoax, as many will claim, but in fact a fantasy model taken out of context. This was built for a sci-fi scale model competition back in 1997, and this image that I'll show here on the screen was posted by its creator, thus creating the legend and the best known fake tank, the KV-6. We're going to take a closer look at the Land-Battleship KV-6 and go through its armament and see how 3 of these will do against the German attack. But before we do so, here's a quick message from today's sponsor. Gentlemen, we've got company. The sponsor of today's video is Warpath. Warpath is a free-to-play World War II strategy mobile game available both on App Store and Google Play. Experience iconic battles such as the landings of Normandy and the defense of Moscow using only your phone. Thanks to Warpath's recent Air Force update, you can now collect and command an additional 42 fighters and bombers. Any outdated units can be modified and equipped in order to defeat any enemy air units. Let's not forget about the army, the vital ground forces needed to achieve dominance on the battlefield. Combine land and air forces for increased firepower and efficiency, such as air-to-ground strikes to support your boots on the ground. Warpath has hundreds of realistic and historical vehicles, weapons, and infantry units for you to construct and train, and none less than Jean-Claude Van Damme has joined the action. Find him to unlock exclusive commanders and airplanes. Get Warpath now by clicking the link and using the code in the description box below and get a bonus, so don't wait. Join the war today. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and get this battle started. The Germans will be attacking from all kinds of directions, and we have 2 KV-6s here on the extreme flanks and 1 in the center. A lot of infantry. This has been a convoy that's come to a halt. Perhaps they've deployed these 3 land battleships here in the center to sort of prevent the Germans from utilizing this area. They've sort of deployed them as a static fortress. I think that's a really cool idea. Let's see if we can get all the 11 or so guns working at the same time. We're going to have a look at this one first because the Germans will be attacking this side to begin with. Panzer IV rolling up. Oh, that's gonna just touch the side armor of this KV-6. Oh, that main gun is gonna return. It's almost a little ignorant of the German advance here. They don't seem to be too eager to respond. 1 Stück is gonna come in on the side. Katyusha rockets are gonna be opened up here at the opposite side. That's going to be a direct hit on that. Oh, they're going all over the place. Holy shit. Someone got to calibrate that rocket launcher. That is a danger to everyone on the battlefield, including friendlies. But they scored a direct hit on that Panzer IV, so that's good. Okay. So the Germans are starting off kind of light. Slight hit in front there. Got to work on that aim. Not the most accurate of guns. That's a very short cannon or short barrel. Short firing tube, I believe is the correct word for it. Okay, we got more armor coming in on the opposite side. Let's move over the river and see how the KV-6 is doing on that side. Is this one knocked out? It looks a bit brownish. Like a little burnt, a little scuffed. No, it does seem to be alive and kicking. We got guns facing all the directions here. So we got the 2 autocannons up top there, and we got machine guns, the smaller ones on the back of some of these turrets. We have the 44 mils and the 76 mils, as well as those 2 big 156s in the center. 156ers. So, some like constructive feedback to the modder. Add more crew seats. I can only get 6 men in this tank. I reckon it needs twice that many to handle reloading and gun management, because right now the crew has to sort of reload and go in between the guns back and forth, and it is sort of making them a little, they're making them a little stale. And there we go. It's going to be knocked out. Okay, we got to put our trust into the land battleship here in the center. They're still fighting. They're still holding back a lot of the German troops. But a Tiger has arrived. Back there in the distance, I thought I heard the engine, as well as a couple of tank destroyers. We should see the same number on the opposite side here. And I wonder if it'll be enough to bring these guys down. So they're definitely tanky. They're taking a lot of fire. But the sort of output firepower is not where it should be. There we go. Let's see those 156 put to work. Oh, that should have been enough to knock it out. That was pretty much a direct hit. Yeah, the crew hatchet is open and everything. Yeah, that's knocked out. That's knocked out. Let's see if we can put these 156s on the Tiger. Machine guns returning fire mostly. Oh. Oh, center one's down. But the Katyushas on this one is going to open up. Engage German armor on the opposite side. And those rockets are flying everywhere. They've got some sort of heat-seeking system. They're going all over the place. That's the wild thing. So for a defensive capacity, their firepower output seems to be a bit low. So we're going to put them to the test in an offensive capacity and attack some German well-defended trenches. Some that you will recognize from a previous battle. Alright guys, it's time to put the KV-6 to use in a different capacity. This time on the offensive instead of being defensive. So they're on the move, they might even utilize more of their weaponry. And this is the same battle we've used twice. This is my favorite battle creation so far in this game. It turned out to be the most epic, I think, and I think many of you will agree. It's one of my most viewed Gates of Hell videos as far as I'm concerned. If it isn't, it should be, because it's probably the best battle. It's just massive. So we've got the standard infantry and armor supporting the attacking KV-6s, and they're going to be rolling in just a second. As you can tell, the defenses are super tricky to get past on this battle. They were, and they always have been. The elephants back here in the rear are devastating to the Soviet armor attacking. And it took many minutes, or in many waves of armored infantry to break through this line. But here we go. That's the first rocket salvo of the KV-6s coming in, and that's going to change things pretty rapidly. And we're going to see those big 156mm guns come into play as well. Isn't that just awesome looking? With the land battleships rolling in. Opa. Bachki. Oh. Okay, so this one's gonna challenge the elephants. Oh, I just overshot. That would have been a great hit. I think the tracks are knocked out. That was a nice side hit. Yeah, these don't mess around, bro. These here don't mess around. Oh, what was that? Fancy sound in the rear. Well, it looks like German infantry's been suppressed, pinned, or killed by the Katyusha storm. And right now, there's not a lot of fire output from the German side of things. I think the Soviets came and conquered with the KV-6s. That's crazy. Let's try and push these guys to the limit. Let's bring up 2 battleships. In fact, let's bring up all 3 to bear. If they can make it there. We know their tracks are vulnerable, and that's something you have to take into account. Let's put them all here in a line. They're very fast for being so big. But they're crazy. You gotta love them for it. So they don't really have their own unique model and code. They're sort of based off of the KV-6, or sorry, the KV-3 or 2. But KV-3? What am I talking about? Yeah. I'm gonna start making up numbers here. Dude, I could have sworn the KV-6 was a different tank that I was thinking of. But here we go, guys. Let's bring him up in force. This is just probably one of the craziest things I've seen. Oh, don't collide. Oh, the mass is so heavy that, in fact, a coalition between these guys, not a coalition, but a collision, can mean the end of a tank and its tracks, because the mass is so big. So it's such a heavy impact. Yeah, so yeah, you know, work to be done on this mod. I think whoever made this did a good job importing the model, but it just needs modifying to really make it come into its own, one could say, instead of mimicking a already existing tank in terms of you know, in terms of mass and collision and whatnot. But look at the armor on these. They're taking fire from Panthers, and we have some Martyr 3s back there. There are Pack 40s, 75mm guns. I think we have some 88s here too. And, you know, they're rolling. The Katyusha's gonna open up again now. They ain't stopping. I think almost like 3 of these could almost like single-handedly take down an entire line. So, you know, see the Soviets back here are gonna have an easier time coming through. But the focus of this video is on these KV-6 land battleships. Yeah, this one's lost its tracks. That's what a collision will do. Oh. Wow. Brutal. Brutality. But, as you've seen in the previous battle, they're not unstoppable. Enough firepower in the right place will knock out gun after gun, and eventually it will explode. There we go. See, parts are flying off now. But it's making the Germans focus fire on it completely. Like, everything they got, focus on it. Oh, but the Katyushas are not giving up. That's one of the most efficient weapons this tank has to boast so far. Needs calibration because it's all over the place, but it's cool. It's mostly going to act in the favor of the friendlies and not the enemies firing that. Guys, I think we've had a pretty nice preview of these tanks now. We can really tell what they can do. I would like to create more sort of like fantasy tanks and create my own almost like Supreme Commander style tanks in this game. Imagine putting 4 Tigers together, having 4 guns, but like just 2 massive tank treads on either side. That's like one of those, what is it, the UNF or something? Like, yeah, crazy. I can't remember what it was called, the UEF. There we go, the UEF. Some of their big sort of like mega factories, some of their land battleships. Anyway, guys, thank you once again to Warpath for sponsoring this video. Check out the description box below for more information. Be sure to sign up and download using the link and code. Get playing right away, guys, and enjoy some of these epic battles on your phone. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys soon again.